So look, we can't afford these higher prices now. The manufacturing sector is saying they're going up. And all this is going to do is lead to mass unemployment. Let's take a look at what happened and why we almost had a double dip recession around 2011 into 2012. Prices went up, incomes went down. We saw that when we were facing a globally synchronized recession around 2015 and 2016. Income growth slowed, inflation rose, and look at where we're at now. Manufacturers are saying the CPI likely to go up here. Consumer incomes are going down. This is a dangerous game. You can see why this is such a massive warning from U.S. consumers to the world. They're saying, look, it's not about tariffs. That's just the tip of the iceberg. The real issue is we cannot afford these higher prices. Let's take a deeper dive into the S&P global data, because what we're seeing from the manufacturing sector is a surge in confidence. Now, this is dangerous because a surge in confidence means they're either seeing a valid reason that new orders and the economy is expanding, or they're betting on it. And if they're betting on it, that's where things get dangerous. At least part of the jump in confidence and more buoyant demand picture is reflected in a sense among firms that business conditions, here's a key word, will improve under President Trump. So they're not saying it did improve. They're saying we believe it's going to improve. And if you believe something, that means you act on it. And that's what they did by hiring on some more people. And the survey data validates that. So if you believe things are going to get better and you know prices are going to rise and you're a manufacturer, what do? You start building inventory. The problem is when you look at the income data, it says consumers are not going to be able to afford it. Meanwhile, input costs continue to increase sharply, leading to the pace of output price inflation to accelerate for the third month running to reach the highest since March of 2024. Again, this has nothing to do with tariffs. That could only make things worse. So prices are going up, incomes are going down. You see, this means unemployment about to head higher. And backlogs of work continue to fall as a recent period of subdued demand meant that spare capacity remained in the sector. That said, the pace of depletion slowed sharply and was the weakest in 7 months, reflecting the renewed expansion of new orders. So one of the issues we've been facing here, one of the things I've been concerned about, is when these backlogs are worked out, if there's not enough new orders coming in to offset and give these workers something to do, manufacturers are going to have to lay off. So what I believe is going on here is there's inventory building. That's a huge risk, because if you build it and people don't come and buy it, well, now you've got a massive problem. Data says consumers don't have the money. Manufacturers therefore raise their own selling prices at a marked pace. The rate of factory gate price inflation quickened for the third month running to the fastest since March of 2024. Again, dangerous sign for the U.S. economy. Has nothing to do with tariffs, but something that does have to do with tariffs. That is what's going on in Europe. Let's turn overseas, because now they're facing a tariff threat as Trump plans to raise U.S. tariffs, plans Canada and Mexico calls. We know the Mexican call went well. Canada happened earlier today after we filmed, and Trump also reiterated a warning to the European Union that tariffs will, quote, definitely happen, citing a large trade deficit with the bloc. And again, I warned about this last week. I said the reason for the tariffs aren't just fentanyl. They're not about people just crossing the border. It's about the deficit, and he wants to see other countries in kind buying American products, goods and services, particularly agricultural commodities. And they don't take our cars, they don't take our farm products. There you see it. They almost take nothing, and we take everything, and the millions of cars, tremendous amounts of food and farm products, saying that unless the EU gets in line and starts buying back from us, well, they're going to have to see tariffs. And for the European economy, look, they're in the same situation as Mexico. What does the ECB want to do? They want to cut rates. Why are they doing it? Because Germany's automobile sector is in a depression, my friends. We know this is happening. Trump's comments leave little room for optimism of agreement to avoid a North American trade war that may spread across the world. U.S. stock futures and Asian shares declined.